we're going to be doing a medieval tutorial for this watchtower where I'm not going to be rebuilding it, because I was thinking if I give you guys a block for block tutorial, when you try to build it again, you won't be able to remember the exact steps. So I'm going to basically give you the basics on how I build it. The only mistake that I kind of did when I was building this was, as you can see for this little actual gatehouse thing, it kind of looks odd. So what I would recommend doing is in between the two towers, I don't know why I'm touching the bottom around, but in between the two towers, what I would recommend doing is have a odd number of spaces. For my example, I would recommend just doing like 3 blocks in between. I accidentally did 4, so it kind of looks a bit odd, but other than that, this is pretty much how I do it. So now let me get on to how I actually built the towers first. So how I built this is I first made just a 3-block line, and you must be thinking, then why are the spruce here? That are just something that came on later in the details. And then I had, so basically I'm going to show you it, but I don't want to show you it exactly block for block, but I will show you it just a tiny bit. So here's what I started with, and then I just added 3 going diagonal like this, and then I just had, the 4th one that came diagonally was just another 3. And I did that, so this is basically what it looked like for one of the sides, and then I did the same thing for the other tower, like, finishing the circle. But, so now on to pretty much how I built the tower. I don't want to tell you everything, I'm basically going to tell you the basics. First, I just built up the tower, made a gap for the entranceway. I just built it up in stone bricks first. Then you have 2 choices. You can either get onto detailing the actual tower itself, after you've built towers, work on the roofs, or even if you want, do the the actual thing in between. I don't exactly remember what that's called. So anyways, if you want to do this first, you can either do I like to do the flags at the end, but how I did it is I just had 2 blocks, like actually on the pillar, 2 blocks in front, a block behind, in front, back, and then, just a singular block there, and I thought it isn't the best looking flag, but it looks decent. And how I actually detailed it is to, how we built that 3? For this first corner, which is right here, I just placed the blocks on every kind of first corner, as you can see. Here's the first one, and then here was the first corner, but I just made it a little spruce wood pillar, and I just did that for both towers. And the other thing that I did for detailing, of course I'm pretending you did the roof first, is I added this little 2-block thing. Like, as you can see, if the pattern continued, it would be, I was gonna do it like this, like just like across the doorway as well, but I thought that just didn't look right, so I had these little 2-block things. Then if you want to know, where you want to keep them on the tower, how I did it, it was 2 blocks above the door, except I didn't do it, on the side of the door. So I went all the way around and I basically just added those 2-block things on top of the stone brick. And I did have a second pillar as well, which is basically, you see this doorway at the bottom, but except it's just 1 block above the doorway instead of just a block. So it's just 1 block above, and it just wrapped all the way around. And basically, I did the same thing on the other tower. Actually, I don't think I did. Okay, guys, I messed up on this one. I think I accidentally made the towers different heights. But if you are actually going to build this, yep, I did mess up a couple times with this. But if you guys are actually going to build this, then I would just recommend, making sure they're the same height and everything's symmetrical. I just built this as a proof of concept decently quickly. So, other than that, how I made this roof design, this little roof thing is, I basically make, the circle again, just on top, except, of course, I didn't do it this time. But so how I do it is, I built it, so say I have the circle right here, I guess, okay? This is, because as we said, we have 3, and then, this, and this. Say for example. Say we have like, you know, this is what it looks like, except, you know, this is only half of it, but this is what it would look like. So how I built it is I would just build one of these up like this until it reached the central point, and how I would fill them in is just do this. Pretty much. Okay, I'm struggling right now. How I would fill them in is first just come around, and it would be one here, so it wouldn't have to really worry about the rest of it. So then I would just do this, have it 2 blocks up, have it like that. And as you can see, let me just build this one up, just because it looks weird without that being built up. Let me just quickly build this up. Whoops, okay, because I didn't, you know, make the whole thing, so it looks really weird. But, okay, let's build this up. This is basically what it would look like if just one of the things was completed, as I've shown. Here it is, and that's basically how I built the roof design. If you have any more questions, I will probably just answer them say them in the comment section below, and I'll answer them. And by the way, this doesn't only work for medieval. By the way, like, if you can find blocks that can match, like, kind of blocks that are kind of matching, like, you know how spruce and these stone bricks, in my opinion, kind of work well together. If you can find blocks like that, basically, say you wanted to build this, you like it, but you just don't think it would fit in a different theme. Like, I don't know. I'm probably gonna build, like, for these tutorials, this is the first tutorial on my channel, but for these little tutorials, I'm gonna be building it in medieval, but I'm gonna say, if you guys want, you can change the theme to pretty much whatever you want, except some of them might not really work, like a medieval ship might not really work for a fantasy style build, but other than that, it might, but it probably wouldn't. Like, if you wanted to build like a kind of a mage thing, you could maybe convert the blocks and possibly have it like floating on an island, or like each of the towers on 2 different islands, and like maybe a gate, maybe a little path coming from here across, but it would be like in the air. Like if you wanted to build it like a magical place, like a mage city or something, like it could be like in the air, and you would have both the island or both the little towers on floating islands. So, and if you'd want, you could convert it to something else. This is just basically my way of building it, because I build in medieval a lot. I'm pretty sure for all of the tutorials, I'm going to be building in medieval, because it's pretty much how I build. Future tutorials might consist of, I don't know exactly. Whenever there's something that I think I'm pretty good at building, I will probably do that. And if you guys really want, I will just do a tutorial on, you know, the towers. And how I do these is, you know, this is less about the tutorial now, but how I'm basically doing these is I don't show block for block, because as I said at the start, you can basically, because I'm trying to teach you the basics here, so the next time you build it, you can build it, or the next time you want to build this, you can just remember those basics and then build it however you want. So that's gonna be it from me today. Hope you enjoyed, and bye!